we don't have the patience.
We can't focus for that
We would
long.
get mad.
Yeah.
We would outside and start killing people. Otherwise, you have got lead with on the top in the furnace, which has no antimony and all the antimony at the bottom.
Wouldn't do that, babe.
Why?
So, müssen wir nochmal machen. Produktionsleiter hat gestört.
For real this time.
Now we're doing.
Kein Problem. Ich habe den gleichen Ablauf verbunden. Ich habe unser Arm.
Oh, go back just a little. Okay, so AEAC is made possible by Air Venturi, Hawk Optics, Diana Airguns, FX Airguns, Daystate, Air Arms, Sports Match Rings UK, H&N Sport, Aztec Optics, and JSB Predator Pellets. And you guys know the best way to thank them. All right, George, what are we looking at? Take us through it.
Okay, so this is the first step in our production is of course getting lead. And these piles of lead are coming from a company in Germany recycling lead. And recycling means purifying lead to a very, very high degree. This is something we basically have a list of requirements of what kind of material should not be into a lead, bismuth and stuff like that.
Okay, it's all recycled though, lead?
It's all recycled lead.
And so it's probably car batteries and from the automotive
Yeah.
industry and
I think that's still the main purpose is to make batteries out of lead.
Okay.
That's it. So it already has its alloy, which is antimony. Antimony is used to make lead slightly harder. So they have got a different percentage of antimony for lead we use for pellets, and we have got lead which we use for bullets.
and it's different antimony
Yeah.
in the two.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you can request to the recycling company how much antimony you want mixed
Yeah.
with the lead,
Yeah.
and that's what arrives you see here.
Exactly, because the mixing process is somehow very difficult. Because it's very difficult to have harmonic. Is that the way to say it?
Harmony.
Harmony into the mixture.
Oh, good blend. Yeah.
Otherwise, you have
consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So otherwise, you have got lead with on the top in the furnace, which has no antimony and all the antimony at the bottom. So that's not working.
Why don't you use just pure lead? Why do you add the antimony?
Because you need to make it a little bit harder, the pellets. Otherwise, they will be easy to squish and out. You have a lot of damages during transport.
Oh, okay.
And for the bullets, well, you have to use them in firearms, and there is a different pressure, different speeds, different temperatures, so you need harder lead.
Okay, so the bullet has more antimony than lead. I think a lot of these guys at home probably don't know. You don't make just pellets for air guns.
No,
You also go ahead.
So we're making two things, mainly pellets, which is the main business, of course, and we also make bullets for reloading. But it's probably not known in the US because we're not exporting to the USA.
Okay.
It's a little bit too expensive at the end, so that's the reason why the bullets stay in Europe, mainly Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Sweden.
Okay. All right. So how much of this lead you go through? Like, is this for the whole year?
No,
Is this for a couple months?
No. We're getting one delivery every week. I think we're about 1,000 tons of lead.
1,000 tons of lead. How
Yeah.
often?
No, a year.
Okay, a year.
Yeah, not every week.
Okay. Okay. So this will be gone in a week, a month,
I would say that we're gone in 3 weeks.
in 3 weeks. Wow. And you ship all over the world.
We ship pellets. We ship all over the world. Really, in every place you can think of.
Interesting. All right. So the lead comes in. and then the lead doesn't turn into just a pellet.
No.
First it turns into a
lead wire.
lead wire.
That's the next step in our process.
All right, so you want to head over there?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so the raw lead and antimonium mix come in together for your specifications for pellets
Yep.
or bullets, and then it's made into
Wire. Lead wire.
lead wire.
Because obviously you cannot you cannot make pellets directly from ingots.
Well, we don't know. We've never
Obviously-
seen it before.
Well, that would be difficult. But there's a first step we have to do then is to make lead wire, and the lead wire is something the machines can use to produce pellets
Aha, okay.
or bullets as well.
Okay.
So
Go ahead. I have a question, but you want to
Yeah,
talk?
no,
Okay,
go ahead.
So is the lead, like there's a lot of different lead wires here.
yeah,
Are they different antimony? Are they different calibers?
you have to make it already for different calibers. So the diameters are different as well.
Okay, so all the lead will be different size or
Yeah.
different diameter.
You need to have, even for the same caliber, but for different pellets, you need different lead.
Okay.
So it's quite complicated.
Can I pick one up?
You can try.
I'm gonna try. Can I pick this up?
Yeah.
Okay, so that probably weighs, I would say, 30 pounds, 35 pounds,
No.
40 pounds. Very heavy.
I'm not sure if it's on there. No, it's not on there.
It's not. It's
But
really, really heavy.
Yep.
Okay, so this looks like maybe for 177.
I don't know.
Can't tell.
And really, that's something I don't know.
Okay. What good are you?
But it looks like it's one for 177. What you always also can see is that we have got quality control there, because it's very important that the lead wire has low tolerances in diameter all the way. So we're measuring that.
Yeah.
We'll see that later on. And we get a printout. Well, it's the other way around. So we get a printout to see if the quality is good enough for our pellets or not. And when it's not good enough, well, it's going back to the furnace.
Okay, so if the wire doesn't meet the quality control, you're not even hooking it to the machine. That's critical.
It's the first step. It's the first fault you can make is using bad lead wire.
Okay. All right. Well, do we want to go over and look at the machine that turns the raw lead into the wire?
Yep.
All right. Good. Okay. So the ingot goes into the furnace.
Yep.
And then into the wire. And we
Exactly.
can't show the furnace for proprietary reasons.
Yeah.
But maybe I can get you some pictures of non-important areas and put them on the screen
Yeah.
maybe later.
No problem.
Go ahead.
So, as I said, you cannot see it, but we can feel it now. The furnace.
It's hot.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
Basically, we don't need any heating in this company.
That is the heater.
That is one of the heaters. We have got two furnaces, and in the winter time, it's enough to heat up the whole company. So, so we melting the ingots and also some scrap we have. Scrap, which is pure lead, which is not contaminated by copper or some grease, because that is something we cannot recycle again.
So would scrap be maybe a pellet or a bunch of pellets that didn't meet quality control, or maybe got dinged,
Yeah.
or it wasn't the right size?
Yeah.
That goes back in.
Or wire, which didn't meet the quality requirements.
Oh, like it didn't meet the right diameter.
So that's something we can reuse. So it's cool, because that otherwise it would be quite expensive to ship everything back to the recycling.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's contaminated with copper, grease, oil, it goes back to the recycling
And then
company.
we have no chance.
Okay.
to recycle.
So when the ingot goes into the furnace, does it just melt it? Or because you mentioned there's lead, there's antimony.
Yeah, there's basically it will stay. There's like a device keeping it.
The mix is
Mix it again.
consistency.
Just to make sure that the antimony is not on one part of the furnace and the lead on the other part of the
Okay.
furnace.
Otherwise, you
They're
get half.
not separated again.
All right.
So, and then it goes into the cylinder.
Yeah.
The cylinder has the device which presses it through two small holes, which are also cooled, and the lead is going cooled down and getting solid. It's still hot, so don't touch it with your bare hands.
You can see the smoke.
Yeah.
coming off of it.
And but it's solid, so you can use it.
So how do you control, because the lead wire is specifically learned to the caliber of the pellet.
Yeah.
So how do you control the thickness of the lead wire? And how do you check it?
Well, the thickness is basically determined by the holes we have.
Okay.
We have got different, I don't know the English word for it.
A hole.
Like hole, like
Hole is good.
whatever, a hole. And we can also check the tolerances and diameter all the way by using these two boxes, which have like a laser inside. A laser. So, and it's measuring the tolerance and diameters all the way. So that's very important to have a consistent lead wire, because a consistent lead wire helps you with the consistent pellet.
So
Otherwise the weight would be different all the time.
So to circle back, if the roll doesn't come out the perfect consistency, it goes back in.
Go back into the furnace.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Awesome. So once it's on that roll, then it can be hooked to the machines.
Yes,
That actually
exactly.
make the pellet.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the next step.
All right, let's do it. All right, this is where all the magic happens.
Exactly.
So I'm seeing machines all the way down this row. How many?
How many? I'm not allowed to tell you.
Okay.
Now, see, just to give you an impression, we're doing more than 1 billion of pellets a year.
1 billion a year.
Yeah, so we're working 24 hours, 6 days a week in the production just to keep up with the demand.
So the machines never shut down except for one day.
Yeah, Sunday they have a day off.
That's
The
amazing.
machines and the,
And the people.
and the workers.
That's
the boom
amazing.
workers.
I never would have thought that. I'm thinking Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You know, but to keep up with the pellets we use, you got to run these things like non-stop.
So we have basically 3 shifts a day. Well, they're working like 1 week in the morning, 1 week in the afternoon, 1 week at night, and 1 week they have a day off. A week off, sorry.
And you have to. So do you maintain them like on a Sunday?
No, Sunday is also always off.
Always. Okay, so if you have to maintain them, it's through the week.
Yeah.
Now the machines, you can't just go down to the supermarket and buy a pellet making machine.
No.
I imagine you make the machines, you design the machines, all the parts.
We designed the machines, but they are not made by us because we have not the capacity to make the complete machine. But they made to our specifications, obviously. And what we do also is we're doing all the dies inside, because that is very crucial. You're not finding anyone in Germany being capable to do the dies like we need to have them. And of course in a short time, and being so flexible to react in 1 day. Usually, if you're ordering something in Germany from a manufacturer for this, it takes 6 to 8 weeks until you get something.
Okay. Now, what we've always wanted to know, and if you can't answer it, I understand, but just the basic idea of how a pellet machine works. For example, I can see the lead wire going into the machine. Does it melt the lead wire and squirt it into a die?
It's weight.
Okay.
It's
Can you
a
talk
weighting
about that?
process. Not in detail, obviously, but it's basically a weighting process. So we cut the wire in different length, the length we need. So that is defining the weight, and then it's weighed into the form, the head and the foot.
Okay.
And that's it.
Is it one machine? Because you guys make so many different kinds of pellets. So one machine, can it make different kinds of pellets and different calibers with the different dyes
Yeah.
and the different wires.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They are almost all the same. So
Okay.
we are very flexible and changing from different calibers and different pellet types.
Okay.
Because otherwise we would need more machines because we have so many different pellet types that would be too many.
Yeah, you have a lot.
Yeah.
Like your machines because you have pellets that are coated in copper.
Yeah.
So is that a different machine, or is that after the process?
Yeah,
How does
that's
that
our-
work?
Yeah, the copper coating is something. It's basically electroplated.
Okay.
That is something we do not ourselves. That is something we do outside.
You ship it. You ship it
Yeah.
out.
It's the same with our bullets because our bullets are also copper coated.
Aha.
A little bit like, yeah, it's a very thin copper coating. It's not really like a full metal jacket.
It's like paint almost.
Yeah, it's very thin, but it keeps at least the lead away from, well, first of all, away from the barrel, so you don't have the problem with lead fouling that much, and also keeps it away from the shooter, because you know when you're shooting powder burners,
Yeah.
the heat will melt the lead at the end of a just pure lead bullet, and then you have the dust around.
Can the same machine that makes the pellet, does it also make your bullets?
No.
They're different.
Yeah, we have got bullet specific machines because
So what are these? Are these all pellet? Or
these are all pellet machines, the bullet machines on the other side.
Okay.
Because there's a different. We're talking about really of different calibers.
yeah.
We also make some of our airgun products, like also on the bullet machines, like the Grizzly and the new Slugs.
The new slugs.
It took me, I think it took me now 5 minutes to mention the first time.
Yeah. We're gonna get to the slugs, guys. I know you all want to know about the slugs, and they've already got them to me back in the States, and you're gonna see them on AEAC. But we're gonna talk about them more in this video, so hang in there.
Yeah, because they are basically looking like bullets, so we're making on bullet machines.
Yeah. Okay. So the pellets come out of the bottom of the machine into a reservoir. Do they go right into the packaging and off?
No. There's of course a lot of quality control during the process and after the process.
Okay.
Let's say a lot of like sporting pellets, like 75,000 pellets. When it's finished, they go to the qualification process. That's mainly looking for random samples of weight, random samples of showing the head size, and then of course shooting.
So you shoot them as well here?
Of course.
You test them?
Yes. That's mandatory, because otherwise, that's the final thing. You can measure everything in a pellet, but it may be still a bad one. You never know. So the only thing you can do is shoot it.
All right, I have a question. So the furnace and the machine that turned the agate into the wire use lasers to check the diameter of the wire, because that's really important. Is there any kind of checking in here, or is it mostly all about that die, and then the checking is done afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. And the checking is done manually. That's something we can show you later. With we have got special weights.
Yeah.
I think it's word to measure the weight.
Okay. A scale.
Balance.
Balance
or
scale.
Yeah,
Scale to measure the weight.
Yeah, and we have got like measurings to measure the head size.
Okay.
Not
so
with
head size, weight, consistency of alimony and lead, diameter of the wire, it's all critical to the quality of the final product.
Exactly.
Can you show me the area where they check the pellets, the quality of the pellets?
We can do.
All right, let's do it.
So, we're now at the desk where the workers...
The desk.
Where the workers check the quality.
Okay.
As we said before, it's mainly two things they're checking here. It's the average weight and the weight tolerances of the final product with this scale, which is I think it measures 1,000 of a gram.
Expensive?
Don't ask. It's one of these expensive things. Yeah. That's what you cannot get it at Amazon.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
And the second thing is this gauge. This gauge are made for measuring the head size of the different pellets, especially the Barracuda match, the Target trophies, Finale match, all the different pellets with different head sizes available. And also this one it's not like you can buy it out there.
Yeah.
It's made by a special company who is certified, and it's a couple of €100 one.
For just one.
Just one.
What if they're at home and they're measuring their pellets with a calipers? Is that effective?
No, because the caliper squeezes the lead and you get wrong results. Usually you measure it smaller than they are really. This gauge measures, it's like a ring, so you put it inside, that it's just touching. That is just a question of the right feeling of the workers. They have to learn
They know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, everybody would measure a different result.
What was the tolerance of this on the inside?
It needs to be also 1,000 of a millimeter.
1,000th of a millimeter. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's that? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Not in detail. No, it's just a monitoring tool for a machine, so we can see which machine is working, which machine is not working, and why it's not working. So we can afterwards see if one machine makes more trouble than the others. And then we need to pull it out and do some maintenance, obviously.
I see. It looks like secret code.
It is.
When I look at it.
No, it's German.
It's like the German version of the Matrix.
Yeah.
All little information coming across the screen.
Yeah, it's a helpful tool to monitor the productivity of the machines.
So, with the scale and with the gauge, the worker at the station, I mean, obviously they can't put every pellet in there.
No.
Are you checking like batches?
A random sample of every production lot. But the production lot is quite small number of pellets, so we can narrow it down. Mainly, as I said, 75,000 in 177, for example, and these 75,000 are coming from the machine in one row.
Okay, so does that mean that one spool of lead, that's like 75, or no?
It's sometimes more, sometimes less.
Okay. But one row is basically one batch, 75,000 pellets.
Basically, you make a cut, and then the next 75,000 pellets is the next production cut. And then you measure again and again. And of course, you measure during production as well, because you want to know if the machine is still working in the tolerances. If not, you have to stop the machine. Otherwise, you're just producing scrap.
I'm finding it very fascinating, all of the checkpoints. There's the checkpoint of mixing the lead and the antimony, that's very important. There's the gauges on the spooling machine with the laser beams on them to make sure the diameter of the cable is very important. You know, the machines need to be set up just right. You got someone at this station checking for weight, diameter, and then there's more checks on top of that. So what happens after this?
You have to go to the shooting range.
So the range is next.
The range is the next, because that's the final test, is to see if the batch is really working. So we have got different weapons for different calibers, also in different power levels, depending on the pellet.
Now when you say range, I've seen several things around here that look like a range. I saw like a tree house that looks like a range. And then I saw one other room, and then there's outdoor as well, so there's all different.
Yeah, and in fact we have now four test ranges.
Okay.
So we have got a 10-meter test range, well, mainly for the Olympic shooting. Then we have the 50-meter indoor range. We now have a 100-meter indoor range, and we have got a 100-meter outdoor range.
Is the one upstairs that I saw, is that the 50-meter indoor?
That's a 50 meter. That's the one which is hanging in the ceiling.
It looks like a treehouse. Can we go there next?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so we're in the treehouse.
Yeah, the hot spot.
Very hot up here.
Yeah.
All that furnace heat is radiating up, and we're up here in the upper parts of the factory, and it's just...
Yeah, in the summertime, it's the worst place to work. But on the other hand, it's one of the, well, most important, it's probably the most important part of it.
It's a prestigious place to work.
Okay, you can say it like that.
All right, so I'm looking down a tube, a pipe,
Yep.
it's 50 meters long. I'm looking at a computer screen. I'm looking at an air gun clamped in a vise. What's going on here?
Well, as I said, it is the final stage of the quality process for most of the pellets is to shoot them, to see if the shot groups are below our requirement or above. No matter how you see it, but smaller.
Yeah, they have
the grouping must be smaller. That's important.
Okay.
So, and we have got these 50-meter test range, and well, we have no place inside the company, so we just basically fix it to the ceiling, which has the advantage that all the vibrations from the machines not affecting the results of the measurements.
Good.
So this tube has three boxes, at 10 meter, at 25 meter, and at 50 meter, and in each box there is an electronic frame measuring the point where the pellet will pass. So you don't need any paper, you're just measuring where the pellet will pass, so we can switch to any of these three distances and to see how the results are.
All right, so what do you mean? I think what he means is, so on this screen here,
Yep.
if the pellet is traveling in an arc, you can see that between this box and this box and this box?
No, you cannot see it with an arc. You can see that it has a different, how the shot groups opens up.
Yeah, so correction, you're not going to actually see the arc.
No.
But what you will see on the screen is the pellet is here, and then it's here, and then maybe it's back here. See, in your mind, you can...
And most important is, a pellet can be good at, or a group can be good at 25 meters, but can get really, really worse at 50 meters.
Okay.
So it's when it's open up because the pellet starts to tremble or something like that. So that is but this is more the experimental thing or the R&D thing. But the qualification process is on a fixed distance. And you say,
Okay.
10 meter Olympic pellet, well, must be good at 10 meters.
Sure.
If you target pellet, must be good at 50 meters.
Okay.
So that's so we can switch to different ranges.
All right, so I see a Viral in here. You only test with German Viral?
No, of course not. We have got 50 different air guns, at least. I have no overview of that. It's getting more and more every week because there are more and more companies coming up or new models coming out, and of course we need to have them. At least the ones who are most common. Yes, Virock is common in Germany, but of course it's a different story in the USA.
Yeah.
In the USA you need to have something from Grossman. So we have also Grossman guns. So,
How do you...
but usually for every pellet type it's defined what test weapon we use. Caliber, of course, but also the power level of the gun. For example, this is a 177 and it has 20 joules, which is about, I don't know, about like 22 foot-pounds, something like that, for the ballpark. But we have got test weapons for all different calibers and different power levels.
How do you know what gun to use when? Like, how do you make that decision?
Well, that's just something to try and error, because you never know.
Okay.
You can get it. Of course you need to have test weapons with very good barrels. And that is usually what you talk to the manufacturer and say, okay, we need to have a test weapon. Then they take a second look at all the weapons they have and shoot the best one.
So that you know that it's not your batch.
Yeah.
And you know that it's not the gun that's a problem. You can focus on the quality of your batch.
That is, of course, a big problem because you see it after a while when too many batches are not good, that something is wrong with the gun.
Yeah.
But it's difficult.
Yeah, we know that as air gunners. There are good guns, there are great guns, and then sometimes you get a barrel that's not just great. That's just kind of the way it goes. I see this is a pre-charged pneumatic.
Yeah.
Can you test the brake barrel in here?
No, that's not possible.
Okay.
And I think they are not that consistent.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why we use PCPs. As you can see, they are all linked to permanent air pressure, so there's no chance that the pressure is going up and down. Although these test guns, I think in 99% of the test guns are regulated anyway.
Yeah.
So
did you test your new slug in here?
yes, we do.
You do.
We do here, and of course of 100 meter, because slugs is a different story. We test, 50 meter. It's easy to have a good shot, but the slugs are intended for ranges beyond 50 meters. So therefore we need to test them at least at 100 meters.
So 50 and 100. Are the slugs, at least right now, is that going to work with like every air gun out there? Or is there one air gun that you know works well with the slugs that you're using for testing?
Yes, of course we have test weapons which are specific for slugs.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't need to mention the name. I think. Okay. But this is something we are still working on with the weapon manufacturers. Which weapon model is working with slugs? Our slugs, which is not working. That's a long process, and it depends on a lot of different factors. Mainly what's in the barrel, what kind of twist rate you have, how the choke is, then the power level, and so there's so many things. And then of course we have got 10 different slugs only in 22. We have got 2 different diameters, 217 and 218, and we have got 5 different weight variants. And you have to find the best combination.
Is the combination of the lead and antimony the same in a slug? Is it in a pellet?
Yeah.
No, it is the same.
Yeah, and it needs to be softer because it's not a powder burner. So we still have the same speed range like with normal pellets.
Yeah, the normal consistency.
Yeah.
One of the most common things these guys ask me is, can I shoot a slug in my air gun, in my traditional air gun? And I know the answer is that your air guns are designed to shoot that, Diablo-shaped pellet with the skirt on them. So normally they don't work very well with a slug or a bullet because they're not designed to.
Yeah, the answer is yes, but.
Yes,
you
but.
can shoot. They will not get stuck unless your gun is underpowered, of course. So you say everything but above, let's say 20 foot-pounds is okay, but you need more to have a good shot group. Right. But
twist rate, barrel choke, barrel diameter. It's all very different, and we're at the threshold of slugs being introduced into the airgun industry, and I find it very interesting and appealing. You guys are you're at the front line of that, because I think what we're going to see is airgun manufacturers starting to design, and they've already started this, their barrels and their guns to perform with the slug.
Yeah.
But you can't have the gun until you've got the slug.
It's a chicken and egg problem.
Yeah, it is. It's a chicken and egg, and so we've got the chicken has begun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the chicken was at eggs, but
okay, baby.
But it's like you said. It's like now we're making ammo, and now it's also more interesting for other weapon manufacturers to look into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it works. And I think that will give also a lot of improvement there. Well, and you know, some people have preferences for a specific makeup. So when they want to have a Vira or a day state, and there's nothing, no model, what should they do?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that these companies will also introduce weapons specific for slugs.
And is it safe to say that your vision, H&N's vision, is to have slugs available in all the different calibers, in all the different sub calibers, you know, various weights that you feel will perform and that they can experiment with to work with their, because they always ask me, well, here's the 2.2. Will there be a 177? Will there be a 2.5? Will there be a .30? And the answer is
yes.
Yes.
We started with the 22 because it's the most difficult caliber. The smaller it gets, the more difficult it's getting to manufacture actually the slugs. The next one is 25. We're already working on them, and so far the results are very promising. Yeah, and we also already see that the development cycle is getting shorter because we now have made a lot of good and bad experiences and developing the 22.
You have the foundation from the 22 that you can build on with the others, so move faster.
Yeah. And the next step will be the .30, of course. We're not sure about 177. Maybe that's not easy. That's very, very difficult to manufacture in the machines we have in bullets. But we will see how we can up it. But I think the main calibers will be 22, 25, 30 anyway.
Yeah.
For long range shooting.
Yeah, 177.
No, that's probably a very special market.
Yeah.
Of course, you have got countries where 177 is the limit. They have got no power limit, but they have a caliber limit. As far as I know, I think in South Africa the limit.
2.2.
No, I think it's in 20. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I know with pellets and air guns. Well, Mac Dubber does everything in 2.2.
But I guess you need to have a special license for that.
Maybe, I don't know.
I know. But every country is different. That makes it not that easy.
Yeah.
I mean, we have very strict rules in Germany.
Yeah.
There is strict rules in Italy, for example. Basically the same. England is a little bit better. They are very, well, it's an airgun country, basically.
Yeah.
How
about the United States?
Yeah, United States, you have no rules. No rules at all. Go ahead. It's easy.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, of course.
So I kind of got us off track. So this is part of the quality control process.
Yeah.
So you bring batches up here. How does that work?
Yeah, of course. Again, only random samples.
Okay.
And then you make a shot group, and you see if it's narrow enough.
Yeah.
And then it's okay.
Yeah.
If not,
you know you have to make an adjustment somewhere in that process.
That's another step. Of course, that's one thing is okay. You basically roll the pellets away in the furnace again. The second step is, of course, okay, I have to look to the machine. This may be something wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
and by the way, we also measure the speed. Because that's very important. If the speed is going up and down too much, that's usually a sign that something's wrong with the test gun.
Oh, I was thinking maybe the mixture in the pellet skirt not sealing properly, or maybe a head size or weight.
It could be both, but variances in speed is also a good indicator that there might be something wrong with the gun. If the speed is always in the small tolerances, but still the shot group is too big, that's usually pellet. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's the way it is.
It's part of it. It's all part of the process. So where does it go from? By the way, hopefully I'm not getting trouble in saying this, but I'm looking around from like up here, machines everywhere. It's just amazing that it runs 24 hours.
Yeah, it's funny because in 2013 we moved from our old building because it was too small to this new one, which has 50% more floor.
Giant.
And now it's getting it's going again, yeah, because we bought new machines everywhere.
So things are going good for H&N Sport.
I think so, yeah.
Great, man.
We try our best, and of course we need to keep up with the technology. Sometimes we just have to exchange the machine, which is getting too old.
Sure.
Well,
it's encouraging to us to see that you're on the cutting edge of the slug development. I know they're working directly with airgun manufacturers to develop that technology. A lot of that's proprietary, but I'm tell you guys that much. It's very exciting. So where do we go from here?
The next thing is a short stop at the pellet storage. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Before they get to the packaging machine.
What about storage and then packaging?
And then packaging. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can show you something how we steer the whole process.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I'd love to see that 5-meter range too, because your sponsored teams come in and use that.
You mean the 10-meter range?
Yeah, the 10
5 meter, that would be.
15. No, that 10-meter range you have for your shooting clubs and all that. Cool. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so once the pellets are made and go through all their checks, they're staged in all these green containers prior to going to packaging.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's correct. They need a little bit of time after the production process before we can put them into the tin. There's a little bit of, how can I say it?
They cure. The American word is they cure.
They cure?
They settle, they get harder, the chemicals come together and bond, the elements.
So it needs a little bit of time. And basically every box is one production.
Is one what?
Production line.
Okay.
So, and I can tell you, the whole process in the company is steered by this cart. That is from the automotive industry, an idea. It's called Kanban, the Kanban system. So, when one lot is produced, it gets this cart.
So that cart is a guide.
Yeah.
As to how the pellet should be made?
Yeah, it's all information, what kind of dice you have to use, what lads you have to use, and it has of course a barcode, because every time you make another step in the process, you have to scan the barcode, so the system knows, okay, lot XYZ is now in stage B, or whatever.
Okay.
So you can see how the material is flowing through the whole production. Also, part of that is it's the printout of the weight control, and you can see also the printouts of the wire. So you have to get everything together.
That's right. These stickers were on those spools.
Yeah, of the
wire.
Of the lead wire. Exactly. So you can see. So we use 3 lead wires for this lot, for example.
So how many pellets will be in a green tub, approximately?
Of this type, that is a finale match, competition pellets, and 177 is roughly 75,000 pellets.
75,000.
The bigger the caliber is, or the heavier the pellet is, then it's getting less.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, that's roughly it. 3 master boxes at the end.
How long will they stay here before they're packaged?
It depends. It's like a minimum 2 weeks.
Okay.
But a little bit more.
Okay. You really let them get hard. Are there any other stops where they're checked before packaging, or do they go from here straight into packaging?
Basically, when they pass the quality control, they are ready for packaging.
Okay.
But the packaging process is usually done automatically.
Yeah.
More or less automatically, you will see. But there are a few pellets which we will pack manually.
Is that what I saw over here?
Yeah, that's the next. No, not the next step.
Well,
the next step would be the packaging machine.
Yeah, there's stuff all like over here. I'm seeing robots and a guy like packaging pellets. Over here, there's like a team of women like manually checking and packaging pallets.
Yeah.
And
that is
slugs.
That's the important thing you mentioned. It's not only packing in manual, but they're also checking them manually. That's basically 3 products. It's the Finale Match. That's made for 10-meter Olympic shooting. The Barracuda FT, made for field target shooting. And the slugs.
That's what's over here,
Yeah.
where they get that last final kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, but this gentleman over here, the packaging, he's also still checking for quality.
Yeah, not. Yeah, well, he's of course he's cautious because he might find things others didn't. But usually his work is just to pack things.
Okay, that's not his role.
He will see thousands of pellets during his shift.
Yeah.
He cannot really make a big quality control.
Okay.
He has to ensure, of course, that the right number of pellets are inside the tin, so that you're not getting 300 where it should be 400.
Okay.
That's for sure.
All right. Can we show them that area over there?
Yep.
All right. Do it. This packaging's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
You got people, you got robots, you got a little conveyor belt.
Yeah.
What can you tell us?
Yeah, the final process is, of course, to bring the pellets or to pack the pellets into our tins. So we have got different stages in this packaging machine. First of all, it starts filling the pellets, the right number of pellets into the tins, which is quite difficult process, I have to say. Because you cannot count it really. You have to do it by weight.
I was just gonna ask, do you do weight?
You have to do it by weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the second step, when you is to put the lid on the
Container.
Container. Thank you. Close it, and then apply the top label.
Yeah.
Apply the tape. Turn it around. Apply the bottom label, which has all the basic information like what kind of pellet is that, what is the barcode needs to be on there, the lot number. The lot number is quite important for us. If there is something went wrong and we got a claim coming from customer, then you can see the lot number. Okay, you can see where the lot is went, so we can inform our customers, the wholesalers, the dealers. Okay, you got lump number XYZ. It's defective. Please send it back.
Okay. You're gonna replace it.
Yeah, of course, replace it also, but it's then to ensure that it's getting out of the market as fast as possible.
Okay.
So, and then well, we put it in shrink foil, 5 tins usually, and then it's ready for the box.
So there's 2 things going on here. So the robotics are measuring the quantity.
Yeah.
They're filling the tins. They're putting the lids on. They're putting the 2 decals on. What's his job?
His job. Well, there are 2 things. The final step in this process is just to put this shrink foil 5 tins into the master box, but also troubleshooting.
So is he keeping an eye on all the machinery and?
Yeah, also it always can happen small accidents, and he has to ensure that the machine is constantly working.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's an automatic machine, but you still need an operator anyway.
Okay. So I'm seeing behind you is a pallet that a forklift is on.
Yep.
How many pallets will you produce in a day, or how many pallets will he pack, or boxes in a day?
That's a good question. I don't really know, because it depends a little bit on what we are packing. How many boxes we get out. So I agree. I cannot tell you. I know that it's like 60 master boxes on one pellet, but I don't know how long that takes.
I'm asking because behind George, over there, is like your area where things are staged to be shipped out.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of those pallets. So I'm kind of curious to get an idea for volume and size. Because I look that way and it's just massive.
Yeah, we need to, because to ensure a short delivery time, we need to have something in store. And we have got so many different variants of pellets and bullets. So that's the reason why we need to have this in store.
Are your customers in most all the countries in the world?
Yeah, for airgun pellets, you can get everywhere in the world, basically. I think there are only a few restrictions. Well, difficult. Iraq, Iran, of course, is forbidden.
Okay.
But in the rest of the world, it's no problem. You can get it in India, you can get it in Australia, you get it in Trinidad and Tobago.
Indonesia?
Yeah. Indonesia, it's a very big country.
Yeah. Are you comfortable talking about what markets are the largest consumers of airgun pellets? I've always been kind of curious.
I would say the biggest one, the biggest one for us is still Germany.
So Germany is the most.
Because we have got the culture of the clubs, shooting clubs. Basically, in every village you have a shooting club shooting either air gun or small ball. So there's still a lot of consumption in Germany itself.
Wow.
Also, the bullets are mainly sold in Germany. So that's one thing. But in Europe, I think France is the biggest market.
Interesting.
Even bigger than Britain. Well, I don't know why, but it is like this.
That's fascinating.
And worldwide, of course, the USA.
United States. You see, that's just so fascinating to me because I think our perception in the United States is that it's the United States and then maybe the United Kingdom. If you've got Germany and France, which I think would never probably have occurred to us. And that's interesting you say that there's airgun shooting clubs in every township.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have got in our community, we have got 11 shooting clubs. Not all are doing airgun shooting, of course.
Yeah.
Some do black powder shooting or IPSC shooting, but you have got, or just the pistol shooting, like the police sporting club we have. But you have all types here. It's a small community. So shooting is fairly popular, but we are very regulated, unfortunately. Especially air guns.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 foot-pounds.
Yeah, 5.5 foot-pounds is a limit for an air gun, which can be bought freely if you are 18 years old.
Okay.
So
yeah,
a lot of restrictions.
So would it be safe to say that most of your competitive airgun shooting in Germany is like 10 meters?
Yeah, definitely.
And you're shooting probably your match quad cutter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Quad match, finale match.
Yeah, finale match.
Exactly. And that's a mass market.
That's very interesting. So from here, do we go to all the shipping, or do you want to go to the hand sorting?
I think because the hand sorting is also packaging, we should go next.
The hand sorting. All right, let's check it out. This is a much nicer area.
Yeah.
Work. I can actually hear myself think a little bit. I can hear my voice getting a little bit hoarse too.
Yeah.
From all the shouting. All right, so we've been through a lot of it, and we've talked about all these quality control checks at these different stations. Some with machinery, some with people, and then the different packaging. So I'm definitely getting the vibe that consistency, quality is extraordinarily important
Yeah.
to H&N Sport.
Yeah.
What's happening back here?
So, some products, they are not getting automatically packed. Basically, three ones is finale match for 10 meter shooting, the Barracuda FT for few target shooting, and the slugs, the new one.
New slugs.
So these three get manually inspected at the end. It's a visual inspection. You can see, like the lady's doing right now, to find any defective slugs.
By defective, a nick on the side, the
Yeah.
skirt, just anything that stands out
Yeah.
that isn't uniform.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then they get manually packed into the tin afterwards, if they are okay.
Okay. So this is how it's actually going to go into the tin.
Yeah. There we are.
Okay. So what are? Okay, so this is a slug station. That's a slug station. Are they doing pellets then on the other side?
Yeah, the lady on the back is doing Barracuda FT, I think so.
Okay.
There's no finale match today because they're shifting a little bit their work,
Sure.
depending on the demand we have right now. Of course, the biggest demand right now is for slugs.
Yeah.
So that's a reason why 2 ladies are working on the slugs today, but this is something else.
Okay. So will you see the workers rotate different positions, or will she always be at this station?
No, well, they rotate also, but it depends really on who is there to the day, because they are not always working. Some are just working part time, so we have to see every week who's working on which station. Okay. But they can do every job. Okay. Let's say like that. Okay. So they can do slugs, they can do Barracuda FT. They also can pack sample packs.
Okay.
And I think that's what the lady is doing. The 4th lady is doing.
Yeah, all right. So what I was trying to understand is she's not going to spend 5 years doing just mashed pellets.
No.
So I would think a person would go insane.
Yeah. There's a reason why the only ladies are doing that, because we don't have the patience.
We can't focus.
We would
long.
get mad.
Yeah.
We would outside and start killing people.
Yeah, I would think it'd just be hard to focus that long.
Yeah.
So are they weighing in here, or is this just all like visual?
All visual. The weighing is
visual
already
checks?
done, so that now only visual, looking for any imperfect pellets.
Okay. So she's putting slugs in what looks like some kind of checker.
Hmm?
Is that just to hold them, or is that checking diameter again? Or is there any
No.
weight checking again, or
It's
all that's
just,
done?
It's just the help to see the bottom, and then she will turn it and to see the top. Or the other way around, because you never know how they flip. But it doesn't matter, you have to see both sides. Because there is the most defects are on the bottom or at the top end.
It really doesn't so much matter what's down the sides.
No, you will see
more
that. That is something you will see immediately anyway. But it's how let's say how the hollow point is there anything which is not straight or something like that.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting to ask anything important here, other than it's peaceful and it's quiet? And
Yeah, but that's unacceptable. That's so quiet.
well, ladies, everybody's so quiet. Don't you have a good time at work?
Usually when I show up,
Talk about your husbands, all the bad things. That's a guilty laugh.
not all are married.
Oh, your boyfriends? All right, cool. So from here, that 10-meter range is really interesting. I'd like to learn a little bit about that.
Exactly. The 10 meter range, from a quality perspective, is important for the 10-meter pellets, obviously. But there's a second job of this 10-meter range. That's I think we already mentioned, is that people can come over to our place and bring their weapons, and then we testing different production lots and to find the best fitting lot for their match weapon.
I have questions about that, but I think I'll save those until we get over there. But I'm seeing all of this inventory up here. Can we show them that a little bit before?
Of course.
Cool. I asked Jorg if we could film here just to give you guys an idea of the scale, because I had no idea. You know, you look, at the scaffolding here all the way down, and there's another one just like it all the way down, and this is the recently finished product waiting to be shipped around the world.
Yeah, it's basically, we call it our supermarket.
Okay.
Because that is the stuff we have on stock for, let's say, small and mid-sized orders.
Yeah.
So we can ship them in very short time. Bigger orders, sometimes then we have to produce separately.
Yeah, I
because
would
if it's too much.
I would imagine some of your larger distributors and importers, like in the United States, for example, I'm guessing you probably have them pre-order
Yeah.
in large batches
Yeah.
so that you can match your manufacturing to that. This isn't so much that. This is if maybe the dealer calls up, the various dealer, and hey, I need a couple boxes or whatever.
Yeah. Although usually most of the distributors we can deliver from stock.
Okay.
Too. That's not the biggest thing. There are other things which are more difficult. That's when let's say a weapon manufacturer has an OEM labeled product, like Viro, they have, or Diana Pellets, or
Oh, that's right.
or Daystate
Yeah.
also has some pellets from us.
Yeah, you do
So
private label.
that is something we don't have in a warehouse. That is something we do in a special order.
Sure, that makes sense. Limited runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, we have got the pellet part is here, the bullet part is on the other side.
So pellets here, bullets down there.
And all other stuff. We are also merchandising stuff is also stored
Yeah.
over here. And what we also have here, I'm not sure if you can see the picture now, that's where the one with a black foil around, that's shipments were ready. Basically, we're standing in front of this part, the part of the warehouse where the shipments are stored before the truck is coming in.
Okay.
But the truck is coming every day.
6 days a week. 5
No,
days a week.
they're not kind of, no, they're not working
They
on
don't work on
Saturday.
Saturday, 5 days a week.
Yeah, just in Germany and and Sundays you're not allowed to drive a truck. So there's a certain limit, but it's okay. 5 days a week, they come to pick it up.
I have a question that just occurred to me. So I know you run 6 days, you run the machines 6 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
But then you have like, you know, the administrative, the supportive, like yourself, like the manual packing, even some of the automated packing. Is that the same 24 hours or is that more like normal shifts?
The automatic packing, they sometimes work also 24 hours.
Okay.
It's different. Not the manual packing. They're just working normal daytime and also the administrative. So we're just, let's say from 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. That's how we work in the administrative part.
So 8
not
to
everyone.
6 in Germany.
Not everyone, but some start at 9, some start at 8, and so at the end you have to have your, like, I think it's 37 and a half hours have to work when you're just an ordinary, what is that, clerk?
Yeah, is it unionized here in Germany where you have a lot of rules governing?
Yeah. These rules are made by, it's a negotiation between the workers, the unions on the one side, and the employees on the other side.
Because we're kind of in automotive making country here. Like I noticed, I drove through Kessel last night, which is what, half an hour from here, and the Volkswagen, big Volkswagen auto manufacturing plants in Kessel. So it was interesting to hear you talk about some of your approach comes from the automotive, industry where you're tracking and quality control.
Yeah, but the automotive industry is the biggest industry we have in Germany, and we have so many well-known brands.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Porsche, Mercedes, BMW.
Yeah, and Audi, and it's all sold in the United States, Volkswagen.
So that's no surprise to have something around here.
Yeah.
There also cause us some troubles because we have to compete for the best workers with them, and it's of course tough. They have conditions we can hardly give. So sometimes they're just working 30 hours a week.
Oh, sure.
With the same salary. But
you're getting it done.
Yeah.
Like all the people I've talked to here, they seem to be really enjoying themselves and having a nice time. So you've created the culture.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so. Cool. Well, so can we look at that 10-meter range?
Yeah.
That thing's pretty cool. All right, this 10-meter pistol room is very interesting to me because you guys use it to confirm the accuracy of your match and phenol grade pellets. But I feel like what's more interesting is that you guys sponsor shooting groups. as a manufacturer, and you allow them to come in here and test batches of pellets to see if they perform well with their guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you talk about that?
Yeah, I start with the other topic first.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
short one.
The
Yeah.
one that interests you and then the one that interests me.
As I said, we use this mainly in the quality process for testing our 10-meter target shooting pellets for Olympic shooting. Because there the testing process is a little bit more strenuous or more complicated. We use not one but two weapons, and we combine the results in two weapons, and we make 40 shots groups. So not like 5-shot groups or 10-shot groups, or 40 shots, and then measure, because we have to see how consistent these pellets are. And then we decide if a lot is finally match quality, or sport quality. So you never know what the result is before we do the quality test.
Absolutely. And I see vices so that you clamp the guns right in the vise, just like
Yeah.
the 50 meter upstairs.
Yeah. But the testing weapons are usually constantly in the vise. This one is for the second purpose, you say. When shooters or teams coming to our factory to test different batches with their match weapons.
Okay.
So we use for both purposes an electronic measuring device.
Which is this.
This is basically the monitor and the computer.
Okay.
And then we have got the box on the other side, which is basically the target.
Okay.
There's still paper in it, but it's just to help you to aim.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. You got to put paper in it so you know where you're shooting, but this actually tells you with very up close.
This is not the standard program used by the shooting clubs, because the whole system is usually for shooting clubs. So they're not using paper anymore, especially when you're going to high-ranked tournaments, high-ranked events, like in the federal shooting league. Nobody's using paper anymore. Everything is electronic. But this is a different program in there. It's specifically made for pellets and also for bullet manufacturers, so you can use it to analyze the results in a better way. And one thing, and this is a good thing, you don't have to aim in the middle. No matter where.
Oh, you got the group.
The system will calculate. Okay, it's a little bit off, but it doesn't matter. It's
cool.
the size of the group which is important,
Right.
and not where the group is.
Absolutely.
So it makes it a little bit easier.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit? The thing that took me by surprise is when you said that groups can come in here and batch test their guns, because we as air gunners know that all air gun barrels are a little different, even if it's the same manufacturer. And same thing with the pellets. And the game is to kind of find the barrel in that batch of pellets that are like really in love with each other.
Yeah.
And so who specifically do you allow to come here and do that?
In theory, everyone. But it's two things. It's two things.
Careful.
To have a sponsorship.
Okay.
And the other ones are buying pellets. So that's the ordinary shooter who's coming probably from a place around like 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers around our factory, coming to us. Who he makes or she makes performs the batch test, and then afterwards she can buy the pellets. The other group is, of course, the shooters we sponsor, and that's mainly teams from the federal shooting league. And they come over with all the guns, up to 10, and then we make really a longer test session. It's usually like 4 hours. We are enclosed here and just going all through the different batches we have down here, and some also in this cabinet. Well, I don't know what it is.
Cabinet.
Cabinet?
Yeah.
Cabinet? Okay, that's funny. So we have got, let's say, 20 different batches of different weight, different head size. And then,
So it's all here for you to try.
Yeah.
And the last question, sorry, this is so fascinating to me. The Olympic, can you talk more specifically about H&N Sport's role in Olympic shooting?
Yeah, well, Olympic shooting was, let's say, 10 years ago, probably 50% of our business. That's where we're coming from a pellet perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah, but as we grow in the market for hunting pellets or for target pellets, more than in the market for 10-meter Olympic shooting. So basically now it's probably like 25% of the business.
Okay.
But still, it's a very vital portion. And yeah, and many top shooters use our pellets, obviously.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I was in your display in your booth in Iwa, in Nuremberg, you had a lot of nice pictures and banners with the Olympic shooters and these kinds of things. So I really, until then, and I consider myself as a knowledgeable North American air gunner, and I had no idea. So it's just very interesting to hear that your roots are in Olympic shooting. We know you with by your hunting pellets.
Yeah.
So is that kind of the new frontier for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it new, because that is something we do. Hunting pellets we do like also for 20 years, but it's a growing market, not only USA but all around the world. And as you know, air guns, they're getting bigger calibers, stronger air guns. You need different pellets for all these purposes.
And slugs.
And slugs.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Olympic shooting is, I think, overall a quite stable market, also in the worldwide perspective. And I think it's not that common in the USA like it is in Europe. So that's a reason probably that you...
That's my perception.
Yeah.
It's interesting to come here and see that that's such a large part of what you do. And the same thing with Germany, that customer base being a large part of what you do.
And now also all the rules or the laws are tailored to 10-meter shooting, because 10-meter shooting you do with guns which have 5.5 foot-pounds.
Yes.
So in Germany you're cannot do field target shooting without having a firearms license, because these guns have 12 foot-pounds. Hunting with air guns is completely forbidden in Germany. So that's the reason why this market is focused on this type of air gun using.
Wow, guys, it's been an amazing time with you, and I want to make sure you guys back home grasp the concept that for an organization like H&N Sport to allow me to come here and film on your behalf and let you in on a lot of these proprietary processes in a very competitive industry takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of trust. And I just wanted to say on behalf of us that we really, really appreciate you letting us in and showing us around and teaching us. It's I imagine you take this a little bit for granted, all these amazing things that go on here, but for me, I feel like a mosquito in a nudist colony. I'm just like, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I will check your pockets if you have.
And check my camera gear before I go and make sure I didn't take pictures of anything that I should have.
Okay, but as I said, the pleasure is on our side, and I'm very happy that you took the long trip from the US to Europe to visit us and the others. And I hope that the community outside gets a little bit of information, which helps also to shoot better, or to shoot. How can I say?
More competitively?
Yeah.
Or enjoy it more?
Yeah. And sometimes understand when things might get wrong, that it's not on purpose.
Oh, well, sure.
We really try everything to make a quality product, but every now and then you have all these.
Well, sure, everybody does. We're all humans, and humans are the furthest thing on the planet from perfect. We all know that, but like I said, the big thing for me is that you let us in here, you show us around, and you're trusting us, and for me that speaks volumes, in helping me feel comfortable with your brand and your vision and your culture, and it's just awesome. Doesn't even begin to describe it. So, George, thank you so much.
You're welcome.